Hey friends, we're glad you tuned in to this episode of Beards and Bitcoins, a crypto podcast for the man's man, and all you beard-loving ladies. In this vast kingdom of nerdy incels, two men stand out as different from the crowd. BitBoy and J-Chains were both voted least nerdy in high school, and most likely to have a better than mediocre podcast. Join them each week as they discuss all the hottest topics in cryptocurrency, as well as the fan favorite segment, Manspreading. So make sure to hit subscribe and turn on those downloads. Here are the dudes, Ben and Justin.
Hey, all you crypto freaks and geeks. Welcome back to another episode of the Beards of Bitcoin's crypto podcast. We are your crypto podcast for the man's man. And yes, the ladies that love you. I am here, as always, with my homie, my man in real life, Ben, BitBoy. What's up, my man?
What's up? Well, you just sprung that freaks and geeks on me.
Oh,
you just sprung that new thing. I love that.
I think that might be a new thing.
That might be a new thing. I think we could turn to the word geek instead of nerd because my wife is really concerned because my kids keep calling everybody nerds. And, my wife was like, but I want them to read and be smart and not feel like that's a bad thing. I was like, honey, I ain't raising nerds.
You smashed a nerd alert on your wife right there.
Dude, the kids smashed nerd alert on me now. So it's pretty funny.
Awesome.
Yeah. So welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Beards and Bitcoins. We're very excited to have you guys today. We got a huge interview today with John McAfee. And you guys got to hear to believe that. We are going to be covering one story today, one segment for Newsbreak before we get to the John McAfee interview about Bitcoin and some advertising, something you won't believe. It kind of ties into manspreading. It's a dude thing. It involves sports, so we're going to tell you about that. But first, let's give a shout out to our sponsor. Beards and Bitcoin, the crypto podcast, is brought to you by Monarch Wallet. Rule your own financial kingdom from the palm of your hand.
That is right, Ben. The team at Monarch are working very hard to bring you the one app to access all of the best crypto services. These guys believe in delivering tech and not hype.
That's right. With the universal decentralized Monarch Wallet, buy, store, spend, and earn crypto. With Monarch Pay, you can set up and accept recurring crypto payments.
Absolutely. So for more information, make sure you check out monarchwallet.com or monarchwallet.io today.
That's right. So, guys, just a reminder, we got a huge McAfee interview here in just a few minutes. We're going to move on over to Newsbreak right before we hit the interview. Newsbreak. All right, guys, for Newsbreak today, we are going to be covering a story that I thought was pretty interesting about a Bitcoin advertisement at a sports game, and could we see that in the future. And it's just a reminder, guys, this segment, Newsbreak, is sponsored by Best Change. We'll tell you a little bit more about them at the end of the segment right before we get to the interview. But basically, Justin, what happened is that there is, there's no fans at sports events, right?
Right. So
what these places are doing, the NFL's already said it's going to do it, is they are taking the first 6 rows all the way around the field, and they are turning those into advertisements. So tell them a little bit about this advertisement.
So the one that we saw on the article is about Bitcoin. It's an eToro advertisement, and it kind of goes around that little digital dasher around the field. But what's really exciting, and obviously this opens up the door to a lot of different crypto companies. I mean, like the Miami Dolphins, they have a deal with what's Alliant Payments, who represent Litecoin, or at least they accept Litecoin. Right. At the games and stuff. So, but to be able to, because eyes are going to be on sports as soon as they come back and they're on TV. So, it's huge. It opens up the door to, a lot of different companies. From what I understand with the NFL is that, it's up to the individual team who they're going to put on, but there can't be a conflict of interest, right? So like Bud Light's the sponsor of the NFL league, the Denver Broncos can't advertise for Coors Light because that's a conflict of interest. But, with some of these soccer teams, you're seeing, I think Manchester United's going to have a token. A lot of these soccer teams that you're seeing in Europe are really getting behind crypto. And so to see more of this and just the amount of eyes that are going to be on this is going to be intense.
Yeah, absolutely. And, interesting about this advertisement, I'm looking at it right now on my screen. I didn't even notice it was an eToro advertisement. All I saw was the part that says Bitcoin on it. So you had
important.
Yeah, you had eToro and Bitcoin, getting advertised at a soccer game, and that's Arsenal, I believe. So I don't know that much about international soccer, but I know Arsenal is a big team. You know how I know?
How?
because I've heard of them. That's it. That's it. You got to be a big soccer team for me to have heard of you. Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And then right behind that, I mean, you got Nike advertising behind them, and then AIA. I don't know what that is. It's probably international. But pretty cool to see cryptocurrency getting a little more clout out there. And I think this is just the beginning. I think we're going to see definitely a lot more of this. But speaking of exchanges and places to, get some of these tokens and stuff, let's talk about Best Change. BestChange.com is a directory of selected, trusted, and reliable exchangers. Their website shows you where to buy, sell, exchange dozens of popular cryptocurrencies or purchase with debit or credit cards.
Absolutely. And Monitor is very easy to use. You need no special knowledge or skills, and it has an intuitive interface. Exchanging is easy as eating some pie.
With over 2.4 million users per month, and many reviews that are left by real customers, you can choose the right exchanger. Visit bestchange.com today for more info.
All right. Well, thanks to our sponsor, bestchange.com. Let's get into this interview because, man, this was intense. McAfee is he's such a big figure in the crypto space. And to hear some of the things he said, man, oh man, it took me by surprise. And this guy was on top of his intensity game. That's for sure.
Yeah. And definitely parental advisory on this one. We try to run a clean podcast here. We try to, everything I do, I try to keep it family friendly, keep it clean. This one is not. So buckle in. McAfee's got some pretty crazy stuff to say here, specifically about whether people should invest in cryptocurrency or not. So you're definitely going to want to hear what he had to say on that. So let's go ahead and roll the interview.
All right, everyone. We are here. We are so excited to bring another great interview with John McAfee. This guy really needs no introduction. He's a huge member of the contributor to the space. John, wherever you are in the world right now, thanks for joining us. How you been, my brother?
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me. I've been great. So has Janice. We're in the middle of the summer here in an ex-communist Russian country, and the food's good, the conversation is good, and life is fun.
The drinks are good. The smoke is good.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Well, smoke is so illegal here. Obviously, we don't do anything illegal. So, but
who would do something illegal?
No, not us. That's absolutely for sure.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think the last time we interviewed you, you were on a boat, and you maybe had some people after you. Is that still going on?
Well, the people are still after us, but not on a boat. No, that boat was taken by the Dominican Republic after we got out of jail. That was almost a year ago now.
Yeah, time just goes by so fast.
July of last year. So no, after we got out of jail, we went to London and then went underground. We've been underground for a year now.
Wow. So no presidential campaign.
Oh, well, yeah, I did, but I lost the Libertarian primary 2 weeks ago.
So who do you vote for? Do you vote for Sleepy Joe?
I don't vote. I have no intention of voting. I don't think anybody should vote. If nobody voted, this nonsense would disappear, I promise you.
So a long time ago, I'd heard you say something about, if you're not happy with the candidates, to write yourself in. I absolutely plan to do that this year.
If you're going to vote for yourself or your dog, your cat, your mother, a dead grandfather. It doesn't make any fucking difference. Just write somebody in. But that's the problem. Americans are so stupid. We vote for people willing to spend $100 million to get a job, paying $300,000 a year. Now that doesn't add up. Please God, people wake up.
Well, I mean, we all know they're making more money than that. I think that you have to be very, very snake-like to be able to get to the top of the government. There's no question about that.
Oh, duh! Yes, yeah. Of course. And we just need to drive the snakes out. Snakes are afraid of people. This is a fact of life.
So what's the?
Go ahead.
No. To say. So what do you think the breed of snake that everyone is?
vipers.
There you go.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of vipers, okay, somebody who I think is a pretty snaky character. And if there's anyone in the government that's even more slippery than elected officials, it's the people that are in the government that never get elected that manage to make it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Well,
like after every president, they just keep getting their job. Like
doing what they keep doing, whatever they want to fucking do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the shadow government. That's the deep fucking state. So yeah, whoever you elect for, do you think it goddamn matters? Do you think anybody in the CIA cares? Listen, the CIA calls these people transients, for fuck's sake. They got another transient got elected president. Someone go deal with him. No, because they're there for life. Every goddamn officious fool that actually matters is there for life.
Yeah.
And they are arrogant because they cannot, since they're not political appointees, they can't be fired by political appointees. And they run this entire fucking circus. So those are the swamp that really need to be cleaned first.
Yeah, and I would say the number one on my list right now is Dr. Anthony Fauci. That guy is a sneaky, slithery.
How did he ever get where he was? I mean, maybe being a snake. That's why snakes enjoy the companionship of other snakes. No, I mean that's I have to agree with you. Although there are slipperier ones in there, I really do. I mean,
oh yeah. Well, the most slippery are the ones you can't see at all.
That's right. See, they're so far down you don't see their name. Do you think whoever is appointed head of the CIA for 4 fucking years knows anything about the CIA? No. They tell them what they fucking want to. End the story.
Yeah, and so I want to ask you about this because you've been pretty vocal tying into Anthony Fauci, and we're going to roll into crypto after this, but you were really critical of the hype about the pandemic in the beginning, and you said it's nothing except for in the very beginning it was absolutely nothing. And I was of the opposite opinion. Like I thought we were really having like something pretty crazy going on. Okay. And yeah, we know there's a lot of cases and stuff. But I want to know from you, like, what do you really think is going on with all of this?
I think the governments are taking advantage of people's fear. I mean, if you look at the numbers, I mean, I look at the stats every fucking day. Right now, about 4,000 people a day worldwide die from coronavirus, okay, which is far less than the number of people dying from the fucking flu, okay? And 1/7 of the number of people who die each day from diarrhea, pathogenic diarrhea, okay, where you get it from touching someone who's got that virus that causes pathogenic diarrhea. 2.5 million people a year die from that shit. Please, God, people wake up. This is not a pandemic. This is not a pandemic. This is a manufactured scare. And so 2 things happen. The press jumps all over it. Why? Because that's what the press does. Oh, here's a story. We can run this fucker for 6 months, which they have done. If we can get everybody to stay home, then they're going to have to watch the news 20 times more than before. Then that's exactly what happened. I mean, before this, how often, how many hours per week did you spend watching news on TV? Well, you worked 8 to 9 hours a day commuting there and back. Weekends, you were out partying or taking your family on an outing. So no, but now locked in the house, 24 fucking hours a day, the eyeballs are glued to the fucking news. So they won, didn't they? Of course, it's in their fucking news. What's the value of the news? Number of eyeballs times the amount of time those eyeballs are glued to your channel. So they're the winner.
Yeah.
No, this is not
the news invented clickbait.
This is not a conspiracy. It's a bunch of idiots in government making idiotic decisions and a bunch of frightened people following what people say. But please, God, go on to WHO and look at the stats. 4,000 people a day. It's nothing on a scale of 7.8 billion. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that actually turns out to be? 1 death per day. per 5 million population. Good God, wake up, people.
Crazy.
No, you have a better chance of winning the fucking lottery. Do you understand?
Well, people say they say, well, wait till it hits home and someone dies from it, and then at that point
Well, if you know that person, they're sure as fuck over 50, because nobody under 50 has died from it. The other day, well, there was this 36-year-old prison guard. Goddamn, she was 430 pounds. Duh, she was about to die any fucking day. No, seriously, nobody in the entire fucking world has died from this under the age of 50. Can you get that through your heads, people?
So was it created as a population control device to get rid of the old people sucking on the teat of society?
Wasn't created. Well, if you're going to create something, why don't you create something that kills a lot of people? 4,000 people a day, it would take you 1 trillion years to get rid of the old people. Good God, wake up, people. This was not created.
If this was, what year was the swine flu? Was that 2014 maybe? Whatever year that was, do you think that if instead of the disease we're dealing with now, it was just something like swine flu popping up, do you think it didn't really matter what the disease was, that there was something that was going to happen this year that was going to try to throw the world into disruption?
No, I think it was just stupid chance. I mean, the Chinese started to go, oh my God, terrible shit's happening in Wuhan and China. They didn't shut down China. China closed 0.5% of its population, 2 fucking cities. The rest of the population went around without masks, without social distancing, creating what they've always created, war machines and products. And please God, the Chinese won. They didn't shut down. They caused the rest of us to shut down because they knew how fucking stupid we were. China never. Japan. Okay, the country that had the least number of infections and deaths was Japan. Japan never shut down. They declared a state of emergency. Why? Every country was going, oh, Japan will do something. They go, state of emergency. Did they pass a law? No. Did people wear masks? No. Did social distancing happen? No. They kept pushing people on these fucking subways, the most crowded city in the world, and the least fucking problem. The problem you have is with these goddamn ventilators that kill 9 out of 10 people. America has the greatest problem with deaths. Why? We have the greatest number of ventilators, mofos. Look it up. Can you wake up 4,000 people a day worldwide? You think, oh, God, that's terrible. Bull fucking shit. 7.8 billion people on this planet. 10 times as many die falling off of a fucking ladder every goddamn year. People, wake up.
If it was one person,
this is not a fucking. What's that?
If it was one person, they'd be saying the same thing. Like if only one person a day were dying from it, like they'd be like, but there's this one person, you have to really care about this person. And,
let's worry about the people who, why don't we worry about the people who died from diarrhea? Let's do that. That's way more. How about the people who died from the flu? That's more. Can we worry about some?
Do we close the oceans?
Well, that's not something that you can pass on through social intercourse.
I feel like the chances of me dying from a shark attack.
Let's talk about the things that are passed on, like the flu. This is way less dangerous than the flu. So why did they pick this? Because China picked an opportunity to lock down the rest. Do you know the first quarter GDP, every country on the planet dropped between 8 and 16% in their GDP. What did China do? Increased 5%. Only one goddamn country in the world, and
they're buying up all the businesses that are closing around the world.
Well, I don't know. They're doing something right, aren't they?
Let's talk about crypto. Like this is what people really want to hear from you, John. And I want to hear your opinions. I mean, we all know about the bet that occurred, didn't occur. We all know what the bet was.
Of course it was a bet.
What's that?
Of course it was a bet. It was obvious. I also bet on that same fucking day that by the end of 2020, whale fucking will replace surfing as the #1 water sport in the world. Please, God, people, can you not recognize it? Most people go, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Some people go, oh, really? Well, fuck me. If you're that stupid, then let's run with this. Like half the people, when I talked about whale fucking, believed that whale fucking was real. So I ran with that. I started a whole goddamn website, Mothers Against Whale Fucking in the Philippines, because of their sons who were dying fucking whales, all right? And people, goddamn, please, if you can't see that Bitcoin is a piece of shit, and it, and always, not always, at least for the past 4 goddamn years, I mean, it was the first one. There's no privacy, no fucking security. You can't run a goddamn smart contract on it. You can't have a DApp on it. Fuck me. It was great until real technologies like Monero came along. Fuck. Or stable coins like DAI. I mean, Jesus God, it is the most, no one accepts it anymore. Do you understand?
Oh, I understand.
Try to buy anything with Bitcoin. No, are you shitting me? You can buy it with Monero. You can buy it with DAI, USDT, but you can't buy shit with Bitcoin. No one accepts it.
It's use cases, it's value. That's the
It's gone. It's gone. So obviously it was a goddamn joke, but those who go, ooh, really? People, I was going to say, I want to make it $100,000. And people go, you know what? Someone's going to be stupid enough to believe that. I go, no way. So I'm going to make it $1 million. I eat my dick if it doesn't come to. Do you understand? What can you?
I wanted you to win, John. I wanted you to win the bet.
It's not possible, because if I had won, do you understand? Please, 21 million coins, $1 million per coin, greater than the gross domestic product of the entire continent of North America.
None of us were doing math back then, though. Math is like nothing we've come up with in the last 3 years.
Well, but what I'm saying, I mean, if you use common sense, it is an impossibility. An impossibility. I don't care if God himself came down. You go, shit, I don't know. There's no way it's going to work. Not unless I change the laws of mathematics. So please, people, good God, wake up. You're the same people, the people who believe that shit, the same people who believed whale fucking. And it was the same goddamn day. Let me tell you, just to make sure people understood, I published on Twitter a prediction. By the end of 2020, whale fucking is going to surpass surfing as the #1 water sport. And 20 minutes later, Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million by the end of 2020. The same goddamn time frame, or I'll eat my dick. Please, people, wake the fuck up.
So what kind of sauce do you use?
Whatever.
Red wine reduction, a white cream.
Well, I was gonna actually have a bunch of Bangkok prostitutes suck it off.
So listen, so Bitcoin not going to be the end all be all that the maximalists think it's
not now. It's not used anymore. No one accepts it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The end all are privacy coins and stable coins. We all know that. I mean, for example, if you're selling something on the web, would you rather accept something which fluctuates wildly and you don't have a clue what it's going to be worth by the time you cash in, or something like DAI where you guaranteed it will not vary more than 1% and never has from the US dollar. Never has. So which would you choose? Not Bitcoin? Or if you're on the dark web, you can't use DAI because it's transparent, just like Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use Monero or some other privacy coin. I mean, this is just a fact of life, people. There's only going to be 2 types of coins, stable and privacy. That's it. End of story.
Interesting.
So that brings us to Ghost.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay. What would you like to know?
Tell us a little bit about it. What are some of the privacy features that maybe set it apart from Monero?
Okay. Well, the big thing, first of all, Monero, it's a fucking hot coin. I mean, you ain't breaking that mofo.
Mm-hmm.
You are not ever going to break into Monero and find out a single transaction unless you were one of the parties to the transaction. Ghost gives you exactly the same. So in that respect, fuck me, they're all the same. What's the difference? Monero was constructed before distributed exchanges were conceived. So here's the problem with Monero and every other privacy coin. You cannot exchange them on the distributed exchange. The architecture simply will not allow it. So while they are as private as you can ever fucking get, awesome. At some point, you might want to exchange Monero for cash or something else. You can only do that on a centralized exchange. All Centralized exchanges now are under the thumb of governments, all of them. Find one that's not. Try to get on a centralized exchange and start exchanging without giving them something, at least your name, an email address. Usually you got to give them your fucking documentation, copy on your driver's license, your bank account. No, please God. Decentralized exchanges like the Ghost Exchange, we don't ask for anything. Not your name, not your email address, not anything. Why? Because there's nobody ask. It's a self-running entity. No one controls it. We don't control it, even though we built it. We can't do jack shit with it now. It's running as smart contracts on all the blockchains. So we can't do anything. We don't ask anything. So on a decentralized exchange, if you had a privacy coin, then the exchange would be utterly private as well. Do you understand? So we built two things. Actually, we built three. We built the Ghost decentralized exchange. And right now, we're the only people on a decentralized exchange where you can actually exchange Bitcoin and Ghost, of course, all of the Ethereum chain tokens, and a couple of others. And we'll be adding more and more as we go along. But the big thing about Ghost is we architected it specifically so that not only are you absolutely assured this is private, when you exchange it for something else, that's also private. Then the third thing that we did, which nobody in crypto has yet done, is we have created, and it's coming out in September, it's already in beta, the Ghost cell phone service. It's an eSIM service.
Interesting.
Now, do we encrypt stuff? Fuck no. Encryption doesn't do any fucking good. I mean, there is no more man in the middle. That's all encryption does. Someone in the middle listening. Bullshit. There's nobody there anymore. They're on both sides. The only thing you can never hide now is your identity and your location. And with the Ghost service, that's what we provide. It's an eSIM system. Nobody can triangulate you when you connect up to the cell towers. Not possible. When you buy an eSIM from us, we don't ask who you are. We don't get any documentation at all. Do you have some crypto or do you have a credit card? That's all. And you can buy a fucking credit card from one of these little credit card machines that does not identify you. And you are now up and running on a cell phone network as a completely anonymous individual, which means you can put your wallets on there. You can transact all of your crypto business in utter privacy and utter anonymity. So these are the three things we're doing. The first two are already up and running. The Ghost Exchange is up and running. Our Ghost Coin went on the mainnet live. We did have some problems for the first 4 days when we went from testnet to mainnet, as everybody does. I mean, not an excuse, but it took us 4 days to get our act together, but now it's been up and running perfectly for weeks. We're staking. There are staking pools. I mean, it's some good shit. And the phone will be out on the 15th, and we've already had beta testers that are raving. Number one, it's just as fast as any cell phone service out there, 4G, LTE. Unfortunately, we only run in 35 countries now. America, we don't run in Canada or Australia, unfortunately.
You're talking about for the phone, right?
For the phone. Well, yeah, the rest of it doesn't fucking matter. We're not connecting up to a cell service, okay? As long as you've got internet access, you can do what you want. So, but no, all of Western Europe, with the exception of Portugal, and some of Eastern Europe. We can do Russia. We can't do China. So we're missing China, which is a serious big one. We're missing Canada. We're missing Australia and New Zealand. So I regret, but we're having difficulty making it work in those countries just because of the laws and bizarre stuff happening there. But for most of the world, with the exception of China, which is very populous, we'll be up and running on the 15th of September. And we hope to add Canada and Australia by December. And because everyone in Canada is going, well, why not us? Why don't you? Well, talk to your fucking government. It's not my problem. Um,
So really excited to see what's going to happen with Ghost. Really excited to see what happens with the cell phone service. I think that's a killer idea for sure. But before we let you go, what do you think, just in general, what is your prediction for this next bull run? What do you think it's going to
next
look
for
like?
what now?
What is your general prediction? Any prediction you want about the next bull run for cryptocurrency?
The next bull run? Listen, people, I don't care about that shit. I don't invest in crypto. I never have. I use crypto. Listen, Janice and I do not have bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a credit card. We don't use dollars and yens and euros. So we're in a crypto universe and have been for a while. So I use crypto. I don't invest in it. Good God Almighty. If someone wants me to do some work for them, they got to pay me in crypto, else hire somebody else. And people who work for me, I pay them in crypto or go work for somebody else. When I want to buy something, I got to go on the web and find out where it is. That's the most inconvenient part. But there's nothing that you can't buy with crypto: houses, cars, bulletproof vests, shoes, clothes, food, prostitutes. So I'm just saying now that I'm the wrong fucking person to ask. I have no clue and don't give a shit. Okay, why? I'm in a stable coin. That's where I keep everything. So
I mean, it's interesting that, with everything you're saying right now, reflecting back on what you said, earlier in the interview about the stable coins, that.
Well, yeah, the stable coin.
Totally
I don't give a shit. They're not going to go up or down. I don't care. All right. They're just there. I never have to get out into dollars or euros or yens or British pounds or anything else. No, it's just I'm always in crypto. Do you see? And then when I want to buy something that I would rather be private, I'll convert to Monero and then buy it.
There you go. I like that. Using crypto for what it was meant for.
So, John, please God, the people that are not doing that, you're perverting. Listen, crypto is the golden key to unlock your cage of slavery if you fucking use it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just into it to make money, go to Las Vegas for fuck's sake. It's a lot more fun, a lot more action, and exactly the same risks and rewards. Play craps. That's the best odds of any gambling. I mean, you can play craps forever if you play just the pass line. All right. So no, go there. That's the best thing. If you want to try to make money by doing jack fucking shit, go to Las Vegas. Gamble, because that's what you're doing by buying crypto. I'm just saying. Good advice.
Yeah, definitely good advice. Very interesting. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a really good interview. You're always such a good, entertaining, and informative guest. There any links or social media accounts you want to give out for people to find you at?
Nah, well, official McAfee on Twitter. That's where I hang out.
Perfect.
And for the rest, just cruise around and enjoy yourself. That's what life is meant to be. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, John.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Beards and Bitcoins Crypto Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you are subscribed on your favorite podcast platform and help us spread the word by sharing your favorite Beards and Bitcoins podcast episodes on your social media. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter @BeardsBitcoins to participate in the weekly poll, chat, and share fire memes. Oh, and don't forget to visit our website beardsandbitcoins.com for more episodes, information, and merch today. See you next time!